Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Hold on, I got an echo. All right. Good evening, everybody. How everybody doing? Oh snap! Oh snap! Hold on, before we get to it, man. My my main man right here. It's his birthday today. Happy birthday, Brian. Happy birthday, bro. Happy birthday. Gotta figure out what. Happy birthday, man. What's going on, Thetis? I'm trying to see if my co-host gonna come on, and if not, I'll probably go solo again. But it is live stream on both channels. See how many people we got up in here. We got Chuck Hunt. We got my guy Chuck Hunt checking in from Monroe, Louisiana, as always. Mr. Crumby, you standing by as always. Dragon 1998, how you doing? How you doing, man? Then we got my Uncle Sid. Got Uncle Sid up in here. Uncle Sid. Yep, we got Uncle Sid. So, man, look, I am on one today. BX Mike. BX Mike was good. Mr. J Blue, how you doing today? Uh, for those that's coming in, um, those that's coming in, I know we got a lot of stuff going on right now. You got um, we got the NCAA, we got the Final Four, the men's Final Four going on right now. We got WrestleMania going on right now. What I got going on in my house is my stepson is gone to had to take him to the prom. So got a lot of stuff going on right now. And then my guy Brian, his birthday is today, man. I'm gonna bring in, let you come in if you wanna speak your piece up in here, man. Man, what's good, me at Mike, man? What's good, man? We are good today. We are good today. Make sure everything is good. I'm trying to see if my co-host is coming on. If not, like I said, I'll be doing everything solo dolo as always. Okay, got a word. She will be coming on a little bit late. So we got word. She will be coming on a little bit late, man. But how's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? I thank everybody for coming on the show on Thursday. Thursday night, y'all. I'm gonna tell you what we did on Thursday night. We had over 1,000 people watch that show Thursday night, and just listening. She on right now. She on. She said she. But we gonna get into those spring games. But we had over 1,000 people chime in on Thursday night. That was a good topic where we talked about HBCUs being used as are they the new JUCOs? Um, I put out a snippet. Got Leonard up in here, man. What's good? We put out a snippet um, about the real JSU according to Zoe from Tiger Talk. and that is at about to be close to 2,000 views on that one. 2,000 views, about to be 2,000 views on that. And then Tuesday night, man, Tuesday night, and it's still going from Tuesday night. Tuesday night show, we did 1.5K. 1.5K viewers watched the show Tuesday. So all in all, we have amassed over probably almost 4,000. Well, not even almost, over a little bit over 4,000 views in the last 3 days, and that is a damn good, that is a damn good thing that we got going on right there, man. It's good that we have that going on. But I want to get back to asking folks about the real JSU, about what y'all gonna see next. What you gonna see on the 15th? What you gonna see this season? Now Zoe put it out there already, man. Zoe put it out there already. What you gonna see? Thank you, sir. Thank you. He put it out there already. What you gonna see? He put it out there that we gonna see almost a damn near reincarnation of WC Gordon, the WC Gordon days. I feel it. I feel it in my soul. I feel it in my heart. I feel it in my every fiber that that's what's gonna happen. And that is what's gonna happen, man. I feel it. I feel it. I feel it. But everybody make sure we still gotta pay bills around here as far as you still gotta pay bills uh for the channel. So make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. Make sure y'all do that. Make sure you share with people that don't have it, they don't know about it, but they want to listen to some good talk about HBCUs with the sports, especially with football and the culture. Um, I say share it with them, let them see it for themselves. If they like it, hey man, tell them go ahead and subscribe to it. If they don't like it, hey, thank you for your views. I appreciate it. Much needed. But we gonna keep this thing rolling right here. Um we also can y'all hear me? I want to make sure. We also got the disaster relief. So we got disaster relief for Rolling Fort, and send the cash out if you want to donate. Uh, do cash out. It will go to so for the release. So cash out to HBCU OverDrive. This is our business. This is the business account for the channel. So uh, that was going to the personal, but even going to personal, I was sending all the stuff off for using that to buy the equipment. But but this is the new um this is the new business account for the channel. So we'll send everything to HBCU Overdrive. And also, like I said, we're gonna that's for we do that just for the disaster relief for Rolling Fort. So make sure if you can give what you can. Um, People still need help out there, and it's gonna, a little can go a long way, y'all. That's what my great grandma used to tell me. A little can go a long way. A little can go a long way. So, spring games. So we got spring games that came. Um, it was 4 spring games today. Alcorn, Southern University. Um, Trying to figure out. It was, I think, Albany State. Hold on. In fact, I actually got it. There we go. Get this banner out the way. So Alcorn today and Southern had their spring games today from the SWAC. Um, the MEAC, there was nobody that have one today. Um, yes, Albany State had theirs today, and I'm looking. It's one more. I know I seen it. Bowie State and North Carolina A&T had their spring games today. Um, if I could get in touch with a couple of people that were at their games, uh, they can give me their pretty much their analysis of what they saw. We can get it going. But yeah, Blue, they had theirs today. They was first on it. They was on their first list. What's going on, Mr. Willie? Yeah, I'm a Cowboys fan. I'm always gonna be a Cowboys fan. How you doing, Miss Veronica? If you in the you moderators, so people get out of line, get on their head. People get out of line, get on their head. I'm over here kind of peeking through watching WrestleMania. Um, First, before we get to spring football, man, how about, man? I'm a shift it this way. How about that damn Iowa knocking off South Carolina last night? How about that damn Iowa knocking off South Carolina last night? That girl, Caitlin Clark, that's a bad white girl. That is a bad white girl. She dropped 41 on them last night. She dropped 41 on them. Had one girl, she didn't even check. She didn't even check. She let her just go on by. But man, she dropped 41 on them last night. But still, South Carolina had a great season this year. So 36-1. Not too many people do that. What's up, Trav? What's going on, Travis? Said they assaulted South Carolina. They did. They did. Uh oh man, hey look, I'm trying to blow up. I'm trying to be like everybody else, man. Without the foolishness and the buffoonery. Without the foolishness and the buffoonery. I don't need to do no clown stuff. I don't do no clown stuff. Got my boy Trav in the dough. What's up?
Yo, what's good, bro?
Man, I'm good, bro. What it look like on the Jackson State? I know we had a practice today. This is the first end of the first half of spring practice for Jackson State. what we look like out there, man. What we been looking like out
And pretty much what you would expect. Very explosive, very dynamic. We got a lot of playmakers. I know a lot of people are expecting it to be a drop off.
there.
We're very it's definitely gonna be a different offense as well. So
Okay.
what everybody's expecting is what we've been seeing.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's something that I like. We need something different. What's going on, Lauderdale? What's up, man? We need something different. Uh what it look like with the QBs, man? Who you think that's the front runner right now for the QB spot?
Me personally, I wouldn't say it's a front runner honestly, because I mean they're competing. It's I've seen a lot of nice plays. They're all very talented. So a couple of them have their own different game, but for the most part, it's a very competitive room. It's no one's really just stuck out at this point, but they're all making plays, so it's a very competitive room right now.
Big. Okay. Um, and as far as for the defense, s- um, what do you think? How you think the defense is good going right now, even with the loss of Durante, him going into the transfer portal?
I mean, obviously, great players like that. That's a very big talent to lose someone like that. We wish him well in whatever move he decided wherever he decided he's gonna go. With entering the portal, so we wish him nothing but success. But the train don't stop. He's going. So I will say the D line looks absolutely amazing. It's gonna be a sprint to the ball. Um, it won't be no drop off from the defense. I would say, especially from the defensive line, that they look amazing, man.
Big, big. I like that. I like that. Uh, so I got a question for you because I know I don't think you. I don't know if you had watched the show from the on Thursday night where we was talking about. I made a the title of it was "Are HBCUs the new JUCOs to get to the next level?" And a lot of
Um,
people have a different opinion about it.
I would say that streamline going to the JUCOs, as we all know, those teams up I-55 North, they pretty much do politics in Mississippi. They made that gateway very strong. I would say having someone from Jackson, being Coach O and obviously Coach TC, they know they're from here. They know that. They know what's going on. So I would say that they're kind of putting it back in order. For years and years and years, it's always been, hey, Jackson State suck. Come to a JUCO. And when we get room up 55 North, we'll find a spot for you and we'll help you get to the league. That's pretty much been the pipeline. I think that's definitely changing. I would also say that the Madison Central pipeline, that's something I would keep my eye on as well. I think that's going to continue to improve. Um, and just all around it's going to improve, especially having two men from Jackson, born and raised at the helm like they are.
Okay. Um, do you think that the high schools suffered a little bit because of, I mean, because of the transfer portal? Because I'm asking questions because I want to get people's different. I want to get different opinions from different people.
I would say definitely because the spots that Um, well, I would say you probably could look at it two different ways. It depends on your recruiting strategy.
Hmm.
If so, the transfer portal helps in a way if you're trying to rebuild a team or you're coming into as you're a new coach, you come into a new team and you're trying to win right now. Um, as we've seen, I've watched teams build out of the portal and then halfway out of high school to have that that later on down, like get the portal a little bit, so we can start winning now. But then also recruit some of the high school kids. That way, on the back end, when those guys in the portal, when they start to graduate and move on to the league or elsewhere, boom, you have that, and you've been building it. And then we've also seen teams go straight for the portal.
Mm.
So it just depends. I think it did hurt because the spots that usually would go to a scholarship that would usually go to someone coming out of high school is gone to a lot of the kids in the portal.
Okay. Okay. I'll just put it like this: the portal can make you, and it can break you. Uh,
Man,
take a look at Alabama A&M. We got all those dudes out of the portal, and they went 3-8 last season.
right.
So
Um, man, the portal can be a graveyard for some players. You know, I would always suggest for a player to have a home pretty much locked in before you jump in that portal because it's not a whole bunch of guys out there that can just move a spot like hit the portal and pretty much the landscape of the field is gonna just jump on them. It's not that many players out there, so if it is some players out there in the portal, I wish them nothing but the best and tons of success. But I would just say really take in consideration of that move because man, you can get out there without somewhere to go and be stuck out there for a long, long time. And then you get lost and
right,
stuck.
right, right. So
But it does have its benefits, of course, though.
right, yeah, the portal gonna have its benefits. To me, I feel like the
Right,
portal have its benefits because the simple fact, it'll have its benefits for your team if you're able to actually get when they come in. Can they come in? Can they gel together? Can they be on one accord? Um, even though it's gonna be some ups and downs, can you coexist
right,
with your new teammates? That's the questions that I look at. That's the
right,
questions that I ask. Like, can you coexist? Can you are you able to say, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm here for the team, and we trying to we trying to get this and get that going. And
right,
so that's that's the things that I look. I I don't try to look for too much because to me that that's their team. Um, they know what they need for as far as um personnel, what they need for their team. Um, but you got to be as a coach, you got to be able to maneuver those different egos, those different personalities around in your locker room. And if you can't do it, then you would kind of see like the dysfunction that you saw this past season with Alabama A&M.
right. Absolutely. Um, Me personally, the thing that stuck out to me when the portal changed was that I like personally was for the players control. So let's just say you recruited from let's say you recruited to Texas A&M all through high school. Boom,
Hmm.
your coach decides to leave. Let's say, for example, LSU drops a bag and you change, and your head coach that recruited you went to LSU. Well, years previously, you was stuck there based on that you was like, let's be honest, most players don't sign to a school. They go to a atmosphere that's created by a coach and a culture created by a particular coach, a coaching staff. So once players, coaches and even if it's just one coach or maybe the head coach leaves, I like that it gave the players like, okay, well, this is who I signed with, not necessarily the school, even though I was gonna be playing for the school. Now they have power on their own career. Because if a coach can just jump up and leave, that's huge. So I liked it for that, but I don't like when players jump in there when the position battle is too tough and you don't like that, or you get in your feelings or something like that, and you just jump in the portal, nowhere to go. I don't
Right.
like that, but I like it for as far as you going to where you want to go. Um, you know, even if you was a player who transferred, let's say Texas A&M, then your coach, like I said, went to LSU, you transfer to LSU, now you back underneath him. I like that, but I don't like it as far as when I see players just jumping in there, and
Hmm.
I sure in the hell don't like it in there when certain things are done to make players jump in the portal. I don't like that.
Right.
I won't go into too much depth on that, but y'all know where I'm getting at.
We know what you're getting at. That's why. That's why we ain't going. You ain't going too much there. Oh, guess who was done made it in the building? Mona.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Be good. Be good. Be good.
She love
Sorry I'm
D.
late. I had to put my son to sleep. He was extra, he had some extra
Oh,
energy towards the end of the night.
Uh,
But it looks like you guys are talking about the transfer portal.
yeah, we talking about we just talking we was talking about spring, and then we got on the because this is the first half of the spring practice that just ended this week, ended today, so they start next week for the second part, and then they got uh all the way up to the 15th for Jackson State. But there was some other game. It was some other schools that had their spring games today. Uh, Southern and we I thought I said Southern and North Carolina A&T, Albany State, and Alcorn.
Okay, I
Uh,
think South Carolina State had theirs, or was it just a scrimmage today?
I think it was a scrimmage. Oh, you know what? You know what? Kobe did
Because
say South
Kobe
Carolina
was
State. They
there.
did have their spring game today.
Yeah.
So he did say he was there today. Blue said he's
He,
dropping his video from Alcorn either tonight or tomorrow, I think.
oh, he should come on here and give us the scoop so that we know the insides. No, but I see Kobe said that they recruited a better O line from what he could tell, you know,
Mhm.
or the O line looked better than last year, and they have a good running back for South Carolina State. Definitely tune in to the Blitz City podcast because they're going to give you. He's going to give you an overview of what week 0, what we could be looking like. Um,
Ooh,
I
ooh,
caught the
you know
tail
what?
end of that
Ooh,
conversation about the transfer portal and the coach leaving and the kids being able to leave when the coaches leave. And for me, I think that players should be able to leave when their coach leaves. Just because coaches, they have different types of setups. They might run the defense different, they might run the offense different, and so it might not actually be a fit for you. So I did think that that was something that student athletes should be able to take advantage of. But what we're seeing here is a realignment, and there's so many athletes that are in the portal. I will say this: anybody that was a Jackson State student athlete and it was their second time transferring, they still will be graduates of Jackson State University. So the good thing about that is they will get their degree. That's number one, because a lot of student athletes don't actually end up getting their degree when they're chasing to go to the NFL. So they get their degree. They're going to be Jackson State alums, and um, we wish them all the best.
yep. I mean, that's all we can do. Um, we should. I'm gonna get in touch with Kobe. Um, right before, like during that week, week 0, like that week, we kind of do a combined show to kind of a give our take on the MEAC SWAC challenge. I think we should do that. I'm gonna hit them up for that.
Did you guys
Uh,
see the recruit that we got today?
Chad, you know anything about that?
6'2" linebacker. He is from Lackawanna College. His name is Jamon McNeil. He's 220 pounds. Um, came from the same college as Nugget, and also I believe one of the linebackers that committed early in the spring, if I remember correctly, Towns Blue is from Lackawanna as well.
Right,
DeAndre Towns Blue, he's from Lackawanna.
right.
So the same way that we saw student athletes recruiting other student athletes to Jackson State under Prime is the same way that we see these student athletes that are currently on the roster bringing in and saying, "Hey, come over here." We saw Savion Wilkerson. He was uh, helping Isaias Guthrie get over at Jackson State. Um, I believe that one of the cornerbacks, Jalen Hughes, he has helped recruit a couple of people as well. So we're still seeing the
Yeah,
same things.
yeah. Jalen got the connection from Snow College, so so he good. He good. Because I see a lot of people that's coming from Snow. Uh, but yeah, man. That's. I think I seen that earlier, and I think that is a good pickup. Uh, that's a good pickup for us as for the linebacker spot. Um,
Based off of what I saw at the if you have a chance to go to Kobe Paul's YouTube, he has like an 18-minute video of the NFL Pro Day, or excuse me, Jackson State Pro Day. And I mean, me personally, I don't know if you're a Jackson State student athlete, and not just Jackson State, but all the schools that were there. If you see that type of representation at Jackson State, I don't know why, if you're looking to go to the NFL or to have exposure, I don't see why you would not stay at Jackson State.
Yeah, Mike. I mean, why would he not stay at JSU, bro? That's kind of
because
a that's a
He,
crazy question.
Cause
You not see recruiting he
did
doing?
it. He did all that. Like he jumped in the portal, then he jumped out and jumped back in before he made his. You know what I'm saying? Before he made his final decision. Um.
I mean, he couldn't go anywhere if he wanted to unless he's
Right.
going to sit out a whole year.
And
Like
he.
he that would be his second time transferring because he's actually enrolled at Jackson State. He would have to actually graduate from Jackson State in order to jump back out. So I think people, which we've done a couple of shows on it, and we've talked about if you're a second time transfer, that unless you have some type of mental health issue or you got robbed or something, or, you can't hop out of the portal and start playing immediately.
Yeah.
And a lot of these players, they have a lot riding with regard to the amount of eyes that they have on them right now. So
Yeah.
it's not for Isaias, his best bet would most definitely to stay. And the reason why Savion Wilkerson is leaving, it has nothing to necessarily do with it's some choices that he made on his own, but Savion is able to graduate. So that means, Savion's already been at Jackson State for a year.
Mm-hmm.
And so he has to graduate in order to go anywhere and
To get
play
that grad
immediately.
transfer. Yeah. To get the grad transfer. Uh. It says basically when I talked to him, he was coming in as a grad transfer with 2 years left on his belt. Because
Go
he
into
did.
debt for why Savion's no longer on the team, but it's something that he has going on with himself personally that he has to take care of, or that he felt he needed to jump in the portal. So it's not like a lack thereof at Jackson State, if you know what I mean. And I don't know why Miak Mike keeps on talking about all these players hopping in this portal. If you do not have the credits to graduate, Number one, you don't have and if your GPA is not straight, you're not in like by, I'm guessing by the spring, you would have to be able to graduate, because if you graduate in the summer, who's going to wait on you? So basically, Miak Mike is asking for someone to make a decision on their whole life based on somebody else's decision to hop into the portal. That don't even make sense. You
Yeah,
I'll
can't
speak on
make
the
a
me and Mike. The first part of that name speaks for itself. Savion chose to go into the portal. I can't say why, but I guarantee you it wasn't a lack of culture. It wasn't a lack of coaching. It wasn't anything. That was more of a personal decision. I know a little bit more behind the scenes. I can tell you that Isaiah is definitely not going nowhere. We've seen him travel around Jackson and actually use his platform in a very positive way, showing us, going to the high school football players practices and stuff like that, speaking at different schools and stuff like that. So he's building his foundation. I would say that those two, even though they have a connection, there is no connection with that mid might and even though one's in the transfer portal, well, he's not currently in there, but he's heading there. But um, Isaiah's not going anywhere.
And Mr. Hatton, I really implore anybody that's in this chat to go ahead and go to the NCAA website, or maybe you missed our previous shows. You need to go look at our previous shows. As of 2 weeks ago, the NCAA changed the portal rules. If it is your second time entering into the transfer portal, you are not granted eligibility any longer if a coach leaves. You are not granted immediate eligibility if you don't have the playing time. You are not granted immediate eligibility if you lose your athletic scholarship. That's just the facts. You can go ahead and take a look at it if you want to, but if you are a second time transfer, you do not get to do that. You have to graduate as a grad transfer. And that is why when you see people entering into the transfer portal, they now say, I am entering as a grad transfer. That is why Shiloh has
yeah,
to finish in May in order to immediately play at Colorado.
yeah. That's I about to say that's the best example I could give you right there because he he transferred from South Carolina, played 2 years at Jackson. Then of course, he's gonna follow his dad, and but because it was his second time transfer, um, he has to sit out. He has to be able to. He can't play immediately, so that's the reason why he's doing his classes online from Jackson State, so he can actually graduate.
Ooh,
Um,
he said 6-5 for a season for TC State.
what 60? I
Lord have
seen
mercy.
that. I seen that. I
Can
seen
you
Good
that.
pull
God.
can you
I
pull up
got
that
to.
can you pull
Can
that
you
up real quick?
go can you
I
go
don't.
outside and take a deep breath and come back inside, please? You have no disrespect, but you have lost your mind.
I just seen that shit. Y'all better
and
start.
and that's just what it is. They made these changes because the transfer portal has went so crazy. But I would like to let everybody know that with the transfer portal going crazy, with uh people utilizing JUCOs, the schools have the upper hand.
Yeah,
There is always going to be somebody looking for a home. And I don't, I think they also forgot who do we that the players that we actually have on our team currently with the linebacker room. Do I need to pull that up?
Mm,
I was tripping.
mm.
TC already. I mean, TC already said from his own mouth that he got between 15 to 20 players coming in after the spring game.
And you know
And
what? Sometimes you do have to clean. If people see, there's a certain level of respect that a head coach has to have. You have to have that level of respect. You cannot be disrespectful. You cannot like have a player to feel like they even have that sunning thing. So we all know that for the last regime that there were some players that had some favoritism with regard to how much playing time they got. They could possibly make a mistake that another player couldn't make and still be able to get back on the field. So what does that mean? It means that if Coach TC Taylor is running his ship differently, either you get on board or you get off the ship.
I'm gonna piggyback off that. When I tell y'all that the regime inside that building is different,
Mm-hmm.
like there is no, if someone hears you say the sort transfer portal or something negative, I promise you, under TC Taylor, your ass is gone. There is no half and half it. You either all in. It's either guard the yard or get out of it. It's plain and simple with TC. Like, so the 6-5, that's, man, y'all have no idea. Like
Cap. It's cap.
we like y'all really believe that it's gonna be a drop off for some of y'all, and it's really not. Like, I can really say it's probably gonna be 10 times different, being that, true enough, one, we had an advantage in the SWAC last year because of the talent. Two, we were head and shoulders and ankles above other teams as far as conditioning as well. You
Right.
cannot bring me up a game that you seen a JSU player huffing and puffing or on trying to get stretched out with a bottle of water trying to get back right. That wasn't the case. This year, you're gonna see a lot more passion. Like, these kids really come from the place that someone was trying to mimic and give that I'm just here for the people. The two people that's leading the boat now, they're really from here. And the players that's in that building are really from here. Some of them not, but they got that same passion of it's time to prove something. So the 6-5, man, you could take that somewhere and float that down the river. I promise you. TC, man, it
I
ain't
mean,
gonna
it's
happen.
not that. It's just like there's still like we've done this before, which
Mm-hmm.
is we've went through who is still on the team. That like Niles Gaddy was working FAMU all up and down the field. Maybe y'all need to go look at the highlights. That was probably Niles Gaddy's best game
It
last
it
year.
was it was it was his best game against that team, but his best complete game
With
was
this
against Tennessee
Tennessee
State.
State. But what I'm saying is we still have Niles Gaddy.
Yeah.
We have four-star Philip
Four and
Webb.
seven.
Four-star Philip Webb is there. Frankie, what is it? Frankie Dunn, Alan Walker. Like the linebacker room is stacked. There was
Me, not to cut you off.
oh, go ahead.
Me and Mike. I'm not saying that TC Taylor is a Russian dictator. What I'm saying is, in the other regime, a lot of that y'all saw was for TV purposes and narrative purposes. Like, there
Right.
was a lot of times stuff was, oh, that didn't look good. Let's redo that. What you have now is someone who comes in there that wears his heart on his sleeve, and he's very passionate about that JSU locker room and that facility. So when I say I don't mean it in a bad way, but what I mean is TC is not taking this as a joke. He comes in there every day, and if you're not working and you don't have that 100,000% locked in, you are gone. He does not care if it's a 5 star or a 1 star. If you're not locked in, ready to play, your ass is out of that building. I promise you. Like, if you don't believe me, look up who recruited him and who he played up on it. That is true and through. That
Wow,
man, you better go do your research on the man that recruited him.
man, I remember who
I don't
recruited
even have to say his name, but people know. So he comes from that regime, that old school toughness. So your ass ain't on board, your ass need to get off or he gonna throw you off. It's real simple. Like, he really has that passion about his school. And that's why we not gonna drop off. Like, we still gonna
We're
dominate the
not
SWAC
worried.
next year.
Yeah, I don't think any if you're a true Jackson State, um, whether you're a fan, a student, an alum, you don't think that it's going to be a drop off. And the switching up, like the people who are entering into the transfer portal, um, I I would beg to say, wherever it is that you're going, is it going to be an elevation for you? because that's the
Right.
thing. A lot of people, which these students, they have a right to
hold on before
think about.
before we get to that.
Are you talking to me or are you talking to someone else?
I'm let
Oh,
me
okay.
right here.
I was just saying, like, um, there's a reason why you want to get the everybody on the same page in that room, in the locker room. And there's a culture, and the culture is guard the yard. If you're not here to guard the yard, then why are you here?
Yeah.
The and Mr. Haynes, the new rule has already taken into effect, which that's literally on here. It'll take effect. You
So
see it
I'm
right
just
here, effective for 2023 to 2024 championship eligibility. So this is for this next coming up year.
so
And these are the rules. So it already took effect. So the only people that ducked and dodged were people who were able to get into that transfer portal, immediately transfer, and immediately enroll into school. They are the only ones that were able to dodge that uh, transfer rule.
let me say something about this guy right here. Whoever this Frank Tank Cunningham is, because you
Please.
you sound like a made up toy that that a dog would use. Um, first of all, TC was never trashing, bro. My man went
Man.
to he played he went under Bill Belichick. You know what I'm saying? He didn't get the chance to get that, show and shine on the field. But guess what? He went over to Europe, played NFL Europe. He won a World Bowl with his team, NFL Europe. So and he came back. He's doing what he loves. So y'all, I ain't with the foolishness today. So um,
Put their ass in timeout.
oh, they already got it.
Like Big Dog talking about rules can't be broken. It's a wiggle room somewhere out there. They put the wiggle rule in there. They let you know what the only reason is that you can uh, be considered for reasons
Doc,
related to the student's athlete's physical or mental health. So unless you have been seeing a counselor right way before this next transfer portal enter or whatever, whenever it opens up, you don't have any documentation that you've been suffering from any mental health or well-being issues,
Okay.
physical or sexual assault or discrimination based on a protected class. So if you don't have these waivers, then there is no wiggle room, and you know they're going to stand on it because they want for kids to stay out of the transfer portal. It's the same with
right.
NIL. They let everybody have a field day with it, so they can figure out ways to reel it in.
Yeah. What you about to say, Travis?
I would just say this to like a comment like him. I would just say, man, we not even gonna entertain that. We know what's on the field. Man, I don't think a lot of people realize we didn't lose much, and what we lost, the few pieces that we did lose, we pretty much replaced and upgraded. Like y'all, for all the people that I've seen over the last few months of Prime gone, it's over. Y'all lost y'all damn mind. Like I understand what Prime pretty much did. He went and got a lot of talent and just built it up quick. So y'all made it seem like that was our savior. Man, it's a lot of talent in Mississippi that we've gone out and got. Like, do y'all not realize Niles Gaddy is still on the fucking roster? Like, that man is gonna be a problem next year. Like a problem. Coming behind someone else that's in the league now, that was a problem. There's a new problem, and he's coming, and this is his year. He's gonna shine. And I'm telling y'all, that defensive line is no joke. The receiver room is no joke. That defense that they implement is no joke. There will be no let off. There won't be, we will be in Atlanta. I promise you. So if you debating that, if you can mark my word, we will be in Atlanta and we're gonna finish it this year. I
Yeah.
promise you that. You can clip this out, save it, whatever you want to do. Put up on your refrigerator, whatever you want to do. I promise you, we will be in Atlanta, and we gonna come in, kick ass, and take names the same way we've been doing the last few years, and under a new regime.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go ahead and keep my feelings out of this, with the trolling and stuff. So I'm I'm just gonna keep my feelings out of it.
Hey Doc, what you think about last night, bro? 'Cause,
I
man, these
I
folks gonna raise
listened
my
to
blood
part
pressure.
of it. I listened to what you talking about on Ken Clark.
No. I'm talking about the game.
Oh, you talking about oh shoot,
Yeah,
that's,
I'm tired of even entertaining these trolls on that.
man,
Because if you notice, it's a lot of people in here at JSU, but y'all ain't talking about y'all team. What y'all team doing? That's the same.
We don't.
That's the
Ain't
same
said
thing the
not
last few
damn
years been doing.
word.
I seen
That's
somebody come in earlier. It's a lot of JSU
okay.
overwatch. We
Blue
ain't talking
said
about
he
your
about
team.
to come on so he can talk some Alcorn football.
Okay, come on.
oh
Uh, the last night's game. Hey,
Yeah,
Caitlin Clark is
but
a bad white girl, man.
man, I'm talking about
Oh
she was shooting
man,
up. Man, listen, I seen her catch it. I seen her wave off a screen and shoot it from the logo. I was like, whoop, boy, that's Curry right there.
man,
That was that. Oof, man.
man.
She lit him
Uh,
up.
that was a man. And she gave him 40. And she gave him a 41 stack. Oh my god, that's like that's a bad white
But
girl.
I think LSU gonna get him though, for sure.
Yeah, LSU gonna get him. LSU gonna get him. San Diego State. That don't even sound right for the men. San Diego State going to the national championship game. That don't even sound right.
Man, that
Now,
shot.
if Steve Fisher was still the head coach of that team, it'd probably be a bit different. But he got one of his dudes, Brian Dutcher. He a good ass coach. Like he a good ass coach. Um,
Yeah, that was. I think LSU gonna get him though. I think they gonna come out with a. I think the problem that they had last night was you can't let a player go off for 40 and then the other team get theirs. So I think
yeah.
LSU's approach need to be let her score 1,000 if she got to. We all know she ain't gonna outscore LSU as a whole. So I would say slow down the pace and make her shoot everything. Make her score all the points. She can score 80 if she want, but don't let
Yeah.
nobody else get nothing else. Because to me, I didn't see no other player that stuck out other than her. I mean, she was balling,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And
and I
then
see a
Aaliyah
lot of
Boston. I
people.
think Aaliyah Boston only had like 9 points last night. So yeah.
What they did was they changed the game, and they pretty much took her out of it. Like they played a lot of tempo, so it took the just dropping out to the corner of the backboard like they usually do, and letting Cardoza, as they call the Twin Towers, play. And they pretty much just ran the ball, and that didn't allow them to get in their offense. And I think that threw them off. And I also think that a lot of times what you see is a lot of teams they come in. Don't get me wrong. I don't for a second think I was better than South Carolina at all. I think what happened was it's one of them teams that you let come in that's not better than you, and you let them play out momentum, and you let them stay around too long. You don't kill a gnat with a sledgehammer like you're supposed to, and they just let them
Hmm.
hang on for too long. I don't think they're gonna do that to Angel Reese and them. I think I think it's gonna be a much better game. I think LSU knocks them off though, but it
Oh
was a
yeah.
good game though.
It was a good game, man. Man, I'd say because the women's final four is here in Dallas, so uh I'd seen a carload of Iowa fans come up in there, especially where I would work at, and they came in droves. I'm talking about black and gold. I'm talking Simone. I'm saying black and gold, everything. Iowa Hawkeye, wrestling, football, it don't matter. They get whatever they got. Man, they're here deep. It's like I couldn't get away from them.
Man, man. Hey, from every camera angle I saw, they came pretty deep. They was in Dallas real deep.
Oh yeah. They truly in Dallas. Uh,
But man, I think
they
LSU got a whole man. Angel Reese is special. Like
I think
I
in a
see a lot of
sense,
people saying, you know, how LSU gonna stop Angel Reese. I mean, Kalen Clark. Man, how they gonna stop Angel Reese? I don't think there's
I say
nobody on the team that's anywhere close to her height.
I'm about to say yeah. Angel Reese like 6'4", 6'5". And then you got Plajay Johnson. Come on, man. You got
Yeah, I don't think Iowa has anybody that's
yeah. They
taller,
ain't got
maybe 6'4",
6'4". Yeah, they probably got like 6'2",
maybe.
6'1", maybe. Yeah, they ain't getting on. Um, now I'm gonna see if Blue coming on.
Okay,
But
while he's waiting, can you go ahead and pull that slide up?
all right.
Yeah. You know I don't like when people talk shit.
Oh man, so we got the defensive line. Yep.
Miak Mike, which out of these players is no longer at Jackson State? This don't even include our new recruits.
But I say they all there.
I don't think none of them are gone.
Nah, nothing them gone. Not on the defensive line.
Can you pull up that second one?
And it still got defensive line. It's still deep. Juice.
Juriante is
He's the only one that's gone.
he's the only one that's gone, right?
He's the only one that's gone.
Now, mind you, this doesn't even include, which, if Blue get on, I'll let him talk, and I'll pull that up again later. But that don't even include all of the commits that we got. So
Right.
that's why I don't understand why these people keep talking all this stuff, talking about we done lost all of our players, this, that, and the third. What? What are y'all talking about?
Oh, Sam, you crazy. You funny.
Juriante Davis was not even going to be LB1 without any of the transfers. He was not going to be LB1. Niles Gaddy going to be LB1. So I'm just trying to figure out, can somebody please tell me now, not to say that Juriante Davis did not bring something to the table, because of course he did.
Right.
And we were grateful that he was on our team. But make no mistake, anybody that decides to go to another university, that's their choice. But Jackson State is not going to fall off. And this does not even include some of the players that we recruited.
Mm-hmm.
They're already on campus. And then the rest of them haven't even gotten here yet.
Oh, I think this is.
And Mr. Haynes, please name them. Who of these players is no longer at Jackson State? I want to know.
Mr.
If you can't
Ford.
name them, then you need to be quiet.
Uh-oh. Mr. Ford,
If
how
you
you doing?
can't name them, then don't say nothing in the chat. Mr. Haynes can't even name outside of Juriante. Who can he name that was in the portal? Mm-hmm.
I don't know. How you doing, Mr. Ford?
Hey, how you doing?
Man, we good. We good. I've told people we got over 4,000 views in the last couple of days.
Uh-huh.
The videos that I, from the 2 live shows that I dropped, and then a little video nugget I put out there yesterday. So yeah, we on fire.
Well, I got something I want you and Mr. Mona to do. I was thinking about it yesterday. And what I want y'all to do, I want y'all to draft a letter to the commissioner, and I want you to talk to him about some things, some improvements we want. And the number one thing is that basketball tournament. And I want y'all to make some suggestions how we could get the crowd in there. Because, like I said, Friday night we had 1,700 tickets sold. Saturday night we had 1,400 tickets sold. That's pathetic. That's not even good if you had a high school. We talking about a Division I conference. Okay, so one day I'd like to talk with you and Mr. Simona, maybe offline, but I'd like for us to draft a letter to Commissioner and Dr. Charles McClellan, but how we can get things rolling here, because we got to do better with this basketball. We got to do better. Now, as far as y'all in this talk about the transfer portal, I love the transfer portal, because I'm going to tell you something about that transfer portal. That transfer portal put us back in touch with kids we hadn't been able to put our hands on since the 1970s. The only thing I tell everybody is this: if you're going to get them kids from the transfer portal, you got to vet them. That simply means you got to do a background check. You got to check their character. Because if they come to you with a bunch of mess, they're going to leave you with a bunch of mess. But I'm in love with that transfer portal. Now, you know, everybody in America is wondering how in the world did FAU build a team so quickly that would go to the Final Four like that? Well, you know the answer, right?
Yeah, both of us on the portal.
Oh, there you go. And I tell everybody, I love the transfer portal for us, HBCUs, because, baby, we putting our hands on some kids now. I'm telling you, we ain't been able to get them kind of kids in almost 40 years.
What's going on, Blue?
What's good, man? I'm still driving back from Mississippi, man. So that's why it took me forever, because you need like your social security number, all that good stuff to get on your stream, man. You got this thing protected.
Man, my bad, bro. Hey, so what you say about Alcorn, man? Because I know you say you was at the spring game, bro.
So it was very limited today, I'd say. I talked to a coach at Alcorn, and apparently I can't name the school, but apparently there was a school last year who sent someone to the spring game, and they supposedly stole Alcorn's offensive signs. So both teams today only ran about they only had like a pool of like 30 to 40 plays to pick from. So very, very vanilla offensively. But in terms of, you got Jarvion and Nico at running back, man, and Jarvion got a little bit of time today, and he's gotten bigger and faster than he was last year, man. He's going to be an issue. Their defensive line is loaded. Apparently, the transfer they landed, a defensive tackle from southeastern Louisiana, is just a grown man on the inside. So you pair him with Malachi Bailey. You still return Terrence Ellis at the mic. They have upgraded at secondary. I will say that the secondary looked crazy today. Andrew Smith, number 21, and the back end of their defense is going to be an issue. Special teams looked so much better. I mean, I think they got 3 punters out there that all can kick it. Fred McNair said we aren't losing again because of a punter. And then Tyler Make is going to be the starting quarterback, man. It's not even close. Aaron Allen is still hurt, so he can't even practice, and Tyler Makins just snatched that job from him, and he is so fast. I mean, he took off a few times out of the pocket, and if they wouldn't have called him down just because you can't hit the quarterback, he probably takes it for a touchdown. I mean, he's that fast.
Yeah, man, because I know we was talking about that. At one point, we was talking about the special teams with the punter.
Hey, let me say this. Hey, Spence Matthew, you need some attention, man. What's wrong with you? What are you talking about? You said how many kids did you vet? Listen, I'm not saying you stupid, but this stuff you writing down here is stupid. I'm not saying you stupid now, but I'm saying what you writing is stupid.
Man,
Spence Matthews, whoever you are, this is some stupid stuff you writing. You having problems?
Mr. Ford is on one tonight, y'all.
Yeah, this guy, he says, Mr. Ford, how many kids did you vet? Then he said up here something about, Mr. Ford, how many tickets did, what you talking about? Did I buy the what? What are you talking about? What tickets you talking about?
Oh, man, I don't even know.
What are you talking about?
So Blue, you saying as far as with you said as far as with Jarvion, man, you said he got bigger as far as weight wise, or
Yeah, he's a unit, man. I mean, they don't want anyone to get hurt, but secondary players did not want to tackle him. He's just going to be an issue, man. I mean, I talked to him last week. I dropped that interview with him. I talked to him. He was at, of course, the pro day last week because all Corn players were there. He was there to support,
right?
and he was like, man, 2K is going to be nothing. He was like, I'm getting 2,000 yards rushing this year, and it's going to be easy.
Whew.
Blue, how did the offensive line coach? Because I've been saying this. Alcorn hadn't had an offensive line coach since Ryan Stachek left, and I've been saying there's two things they need: offensive line coach and an offense coordinator. So how did the offensive line? Because if that offensive line is tight, that Howard kid is going to gain 2,000 yards. So how did the offensive line coach? How did the offensive line look?
I'm going to hold my judgment on them because what they did, it's become common in spring games, and I don't like it. Is where the coaching staff is separated and then they draft teams.
Oh, okay,
Well,
right. I see.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
one of the staffs, they drafted a bunch of defensive linemen, and apparently they had like one or two starters and then a bunch of like third stringers on the offensive line. The other offensive line was all mix and match. So pass protection was a bit iffy at times, but there
Right.
were some big holes for the running backs. But I want to see the starting unit play together. And today we didn't get to see that because the
Yeah,
team was
yeah,
split.
yeah. Because FAM
So
does that too. They do a draft too for their spring game.
I don't like it. I get the
Yeah.
competition aspect of it because, yes, it makes it more interesting for the players, you could say. But I don't like it because you have a bunch of players playing together out of position and you got third string guys playing with first string guys, and it doesn't look great. Like the final score today was 7-2.
Mm.
What wide receiver stood out today? Is it a McNabb that still got a McNabb wide receiver? Who are
No,
some of the top?
I believe Akeem graduated, but they held out their number one wide receiver, Montario Hunt, the kid that put a 100 on Travis Hunter in
Okay,
that
yeah,
game.
yeah, I remember
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
they held him out. He didn't play today. But there's a kid that transferred from Tulsa. I have an interview with him coming out tomorrow, and Malik Rogers. He was like
What
the special team. He came from Tulsa, if I'm not mistaken, but he played special teams exclusively last year. The
what
kid's
kind
going
of
to be an
size we
issue.
talk? How big is he?
He's a slot guy. He's a guy
Oh,
who could have like he's like an Xavier Smith type of guy that can have a high volume of catches.
right.
He's not going to go up over everybody, but that's what you got Montario for. He's a perfect complementary piece. But I was told today they probably have I would say somewhere around 2 to possibly 3 Power 5 wide receivers transferring in after the spring.
Whoa. So the kid from Missouri was the best looking quarterback.
Yeah, Aaron Allen, the guy who started most of last year, he's been
Right.
out of spring with an injury. So
Okay.
it was Trey Lawrence. They have a kid from like a local kid that looked pretty good today. I'll say he can spin it. And then it was Tyler, and they have like one more that, to be honest with you, probably wasn't ever going to play. But yeah, Tyler looked like the best quarterback. But the problem is they really didn't let him air it out. But I'll tell you, man, he looks so explosive. I mean, and there were some people I was talking to that said that he could be better than Felix Harper.
Hey, Mr. Spencer Matthews, you're an idiot. Anytime I complain about something, I always give an alternative. You're a liar. You said to Mr. Ford, you always talking about the problem with the SWAC office, but what are your solutions? I always give a solution. I just talked to um, uh, Doc about us writing a letter. What have you done to make it better? Boy, let me tell you something. You don't know me. You don't know me. You don't know who I've helped. You don't know me.
Mike in timeout for a little bit because
Yeah, he got a problem. But you know what? Usually those are ignorant people who don't have no solution, and he's probably a jealous kind of guy. So what you need to do is go and take you a fentanyl. That's what you need to do.
Oh, 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 it hurt. I'm paying attention to this WrestleMania up here, man. It's a nice show, right?
Yeah, let him come on. Let him. Who is this? Spence Matthew. Come on the show. You always running your talking about what I do.
Oh Jesus! Oh Jesus! My stomach hurt.
I'll also say one of the more interesting things is because I felt like Nico got the short end of the stick when Jarvie
Hmm.
had transferred in. Because I don't know if y'all know this. I don't know exactly how many yards. I have to look it up. But Nico could set the all time all Corn State career rushing record this year. It's
Really?
well within reach. But Jarvion is going to be the number one running back, of course. So what they had Nico doing today is he played special teams, but they also played him at slot receiver and used him on jet sweeps and kind of got him out in space. So to have Nico and Jarvion both in the game, that could be scary offensively for
Yeah,
Alcorn State if they get that going.
yeah, that's
Plus, you got Tyler
exactly.
Macon with the read option because he's so fast. I mean, there's a chance you could have a 3 man set in a shotgun and run a triple option with Jarvion, Nico, and Tyler Macon.
Hey, Howard Neely. I bet your IQ in double figures. I bet you that. I bet your IQ in double figures. You stupid.
Oh
You
Jesus!
are.
Oh Jesus!
But we
Man,
out. Like I tell you all the time, y'all that 70%. You that 70%.
oh man, Blue, man, I thank you, man, for giving me the insight on Alcorn football, man. So I'm gonna have to go down there and check it out too. Check
Hey man,
all of
Hey,
it.
hey, Blue. How did Coach Thomas' defense look?
they look good. The defense won today. I mean, to be honest, they got some stud freshmen, but I heard they're bringing in I heard it's similar to Jackson. I think it's like this across all the SWAC. There's still probably 15, 20 guys coming in after spring that are going to fill some big roles. And I can't say the name. I promised them I wouldn't. But apparently they have a big time Auburn transfer coming in
Oh,
after spring as well, or potentially. They said that he's close and they're trying to close to deal with him, but they said it would be a big deal if they got him. So I can't say
What
exactly
position?
who
What position, Blue?
they. I mean, it's so because I'm an Auburn guy, so they won't even tell
Right.
me the position.
Oh, okay, okay.
But out of all the Auburn guys in the transfer portal, it's going to be D line or linebacker.
hmm,
Whoa.
That that's the all the guys left in the portal for Auburn off the top of my head are linebackers, D line, and then there's a running back. But I cannot imagine a running back would commit to Alcorn with Nico and Jarvion there right now.
right.
Plus, you got Leatherwood too, who's been a stud as well. So you got three deep at running back right now for them, and there's just no chance. But I think they can use one more D lineman because you got Malachi Bailey at edge, you
Hmm.
got the kid from Southeastern at the three, and I just think they need one more guy to emerge, and they're going to be a problem because I mean Malachi Bailey, look, they didn't win the game, but let's just be honest. Shador Sanders is still having nightmares about Malachi Bailey right now.
Right.
He
Hey,
is
hey. Now,
killing them.
Blue. Right off the top of your head, the Howard kid. Where do you see him getting drafted?
It's going to depend on this year. But
Okay.
with the lack of value placed on running backs, I think probably anywhere between the fifth and seventh round.
Hey Blue, did you see the can you talk a little bit about Tony Gray, because there was a tweet that came out from an NFL scout today, and it said that he was piquing interest from some of the NFL teams after pro day.
Yeah, he's an interesting situation because and I think you're seeing kind of the same thing with Anthony Richardson and some of these other developmental players. Is
Hmm.
that and Mr. Ford could probably say this as well? Is NFL coaches are all arrogant. They all see a kid with like the ingredients there, and they all think that he can be the one to unlock it. And that's what you're getting with Tony Gray. Because when you look at him on paper, man, he's supposed to be a stud. But
Yeah.
man, his bench to not hit 20 reps on the bench press as an offensive lineman, not great.
Right. Right.
To not being able to start at the FCS level, that's an indictment on his talent. Let's just
Yeah.
keep it a bug. If you can't start in the FCS, you're not starting in the NFL. But there are the ingredients there on paper in terms of size and everything like that that some NFL teams are probably going to give him a tryout. He's definitely not going to get drafted. There's 0% chance of that. But if he gets a mini camp invite, and you know shows out for them, I mean, he could possibly make a roster or make a practice squad. But I'm still going to be skeptical till I see it, because we've seen too many times scouts fall in love with all these measurables and stuff that is all great. But man, if you can't do it on the field, then all that doesn't matter. You can look good coming off the bus and then not play.
Right. Right. You know, it, and the
How many
only
games did he start this year, Blue? Did he start any games?
None.
no game.
Yeah, Tony Gray didn't even play this year for real.
I mean, that's why it was so interesting to see that tweet come up on, which is that, I guess, can you pull that up? I put it out there. Um, I guess his name is Tony Pfeiffer. It says that Jackson State offensive tackle Tony Gray had a great pro day and gained interest from the Bears, Colts, Raiders, and Jets. Per source.
We'll see.
So,
I mean, it's just if someone takes a chance on him, it would be interesting, because I mean, all of us on this stream, everyone in the chat knows that at the FCS level, if you are not doing amazing, legendary, high level things, the NFL is going to overlook you. So it would just go against like all historical precedent for them to take a chance on a kid who literally produced nothing at the collegiate level, at the FCS level, and is a Power 5 drop down. It would just be so weird. But I mean, hey, if he makes it, that'd be great. And I think that'd be a feather, another NFL guy that Jack State can hang their hat on. So we'll see. But I would still be skeptical of it.
Yeah, he'll be one of those guys that if the NFL team if he don't get drafted, he'll more likely be on the practice squad. Um, it's about the drive. You got to have the drive and the hunger to want to go out there and be great. And if you don't have it, man, you just gonna be you're gonna be stuck in limbo. So I hope that whoever picks him up, I hope he gets on the team. I hope he takes it serious. Because a lot of dudes, you got a lot of dudes that come in, they are first, second, what I'm saying, first day, second day picks, and most of them don't take it serious, and you see them flame out after 2 or 3 years, and maybe not even get, not even get on the field. So hopefully that somebody pick him up and he'll take it serious.
Hey, Spence Matthews, oh, you simple ones. You a simpleton. You need to go get a life, man. Go get a life. You don't have a life. If you sitting around, all you doing is worrying about what I say, you don't have a life. You a simpleton. That's what you are. You're a simpleton. But you know what? It's a big crowd of y'all.
But man, I still thank you though, Blue, for coming on and telling me about Alcorn and everything else. And if you haven't seen the interviews from the JSU Pro Day, go check him out now on his channel, man.
Hey, Blue. So, Blue, what's the word? How's Hugh Free's staff coming along?
I think he's got it complete, if I'm not mistaken. They got a bunch of dudes with a lot of experience, like Philip Montgomery and all those guys.
Yeah, I know Philip Montgomery.
I mean, listen, Auburn fans are just loving him, man. I mean, for him to take the recruiting class from like outside the top 60 into the top 15, land the number 3 transfer portal class, and right now I think they're sitting right at about 10th. Already landed a 4-star quarterback. I think he was the number 1 quarterback in the state of Arkansas. Landed a bunch of I think landed all the prospects that he's landed so far. The next class are all like top 300-ish players. So listen, man, I mean, he's doing his thing. I'm pleased as an alum to see what's going on, but we'll see, man. Hey, you know how it is. Listen, Texas A&M's been recruiting their ass off and been getting the curve stopped week in and week out under Jimbo Fisher. So I still want to see them do it on the field.
Now, the 2 things. Did you get the wide receiver coach from Jackson? Did he come to Auburn?
Okay.
yeah, he's the analyst. He's an
Yeah,
analyst.
He's
yeah.
an analyst. Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, yeah, because I heard the rumor when he left that it was possible, but haven't heard anything confirmed from Auburn. But it seems like that's the move he decided to make, which I guess isn't necessarily surprising because of previous relationships. Because at first I thought there was a chance that he was gonna stay at Texas State, because if I'm not mistaken, Kenny wanted to keep him potentially. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much analysts make at Auburn. I'll have to do some research. But I'm assuming that he's probably making more as an analyst than he was as a
Oh
wide
yeah,
receiver
those
coach.
analysts
So
usually 200, 300,000, isn't it?
yeah, and he's a young guy, and I get it. I
Yeah,
mean, eventually, it's as cool as it is to get a chance as a position coach and everything. At the end of the day, I think all of us can agree that eventually you got to take care of your family at some point. So I don't blame
right.
him. I mean, it is
Yeah.
what it is, and I'm sure TC and them will be just fine. I don't know if have they hired a receiving coach since he left, or are they going to do it after spring?
Hey Trav, you know we had a receiver coach for to replace Coach Fleming.
We haven't, but it's definitely in the works. We got some people that's lined up for sure.
Right. Right.
He left with a lot of class, though. I think you could tell how quickly he formed some bonds in the building, because all of the players, like when he made his announcement, it was a great announcement. It was classy, like especially change of pace from what happened earlier this off season. But I thought all the way all the players reacted in such a short time really says a lot about what the impact he made on them over the 2 months he was in the building.
Hmm.
Well, listen, I'm a big fan. I'm one of the few people in Atlanta that's a fan of the guy that's the new offensive coordinator down there at Texas A&M. We love that guy, man. Bobby Petrino. So I'm looking to see how well he does with that offense at Texas A&M.
I'm not a Jimbo fan, so I'm hoping they lose a lot if he loses his job. Him and Dabo Sweeney, like I have a real dislike for both of them, to be honest with you.
Man,
So
Damn,
I
blue blood. I thought I was the only one.
no, and Dabo's a good dude, like outside, like because listen, I have an uncle who coaches up there, another one who like ran personal security for the team, and they go to his house every year for a Christmas party. Like, listen, Dabo's a cool dude off camera, but like some of the gimmicks he does on camera just kill me. Like the whole thing about like the NIL thing where he was like made it something about God and everything. It was just like, bro, that was so corny. Like he didn't have to say that. And the
Yeah,
fact that he
he's
consistently like craps on the transfer portal, it's just like if you don't evolve, this game is going to eat you alive. And he consistently shows that he's not ready to evolve. And I think that's why Clemson took a step back.
Well, isn't it a new thing for all of these coaches to become like evangelicals? Didn't they have that in Jackson? And then them atheists stopped it up. Them atheist people stopped it up there in Boulder. But isn't that like a part of coaching now? You got to show that you like an evangelical.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's what got Hugh Freeze in so much trouble at Ole Miss is that he was using the Bible on one hand and then
Yeah,
ordering,
right. Then he calling
stuff on.
escort services, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So
hey,
I don't. Yeah, so
that
that's
was always my biggest thing with Dabo. It was like he always used that God too much. Like, don't get me wrong, I believe in him too, but man, he just used to. I think he knew about the Bible more than he knew about his own playbook, and he used to always just use that way too much. And I'm an Alabama fan, so I used to always be like, man, y'all don't play nobody on y'all schedule. So all y'all did was y'all just came in less bumped up and less injured than we were. And y'all won one national championship off a legal play. And he was like, thank God for the play and the excellent play call. And it's like, bro, calm down. Like, you're doing too much.
Well, now Deshaun Watson won one of them games, didn't he?
yep.
yeah. Deshaun Watson won the first one, and then Trevor Lawrence abused Alabama for 60 minutes the next one.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, he did.
yeah.
But that first one with Deshaun, man, who's that?
With the
I think that
Renfro
was
throw,
Hunter
right?
Renfro, I think.
Yeah, Renfro, yeah.
Yeah, that play was so much of a illegal pick play, and then he
What
got
was
on
a pick?
TV
Yeah, it
talking
was a
about it
pick
was
from
from
a pick.
God.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey,
Well, now, Blue, you say you hadn't heard it, but you still hadn't heard anything about Florida State complaining about all the money coming to the SEC and the Big Ten and how the ACC is losing money and they talking about leaving. You hadn't heard that lately?
I've heard there's some multiple teams in the ACC doing it because I checked in
Right.
on
Okay,
it
what I
after you
thought.
said something. Yeah, there's multiple teams doing it, but the problem is, and I think Mr. Campbell said it on my show because we were talking about it one day, is that Florida does not want Florida State coming to the SEC.
Nope.
They are going to do
Right,
everything
right,
in their power
right,
to block that,
right.
just like Texas A&M didn't want Texas. And so it's going to be interesting to see because I don't think the SEC can afford to lose Florida State to the Big Ten after the Big Ten's already got USC and UCLA coming, plus the potential
Right.
lock in with Notre Dame. So it's going to be interesting to see what gives. But I would imagine that if Texas got admission, even with Texas A&M's griping, that Florida is not going to be able to do anything to keep Florida State out. And I would imagine that if Florida comes, Miami's not far behind them.
And the thing that the ACC's got is that if they try to leave the ACC, the buyout is humongous. They're gonna have to pay the ACC a lot of money. So that might maintain the status quo. Because right now, I don't know if Florida State got the kind of money to just give to the ACC because that buyout is humongous.
Man, I'm gonna tell you just like this. It ain't gonna be. It's gonna be the Big Ten, the ACC, and the four tops. That's how I see it right there. That's how I
That's
see
Not
how
it.
the way I
they
see it. It's
said
the SEC and everybody else.
my dead grandmother saw that play coming. Dragon 1998. What
He
are you
talking about that Clem. He talking about that Clemson play with Renfro.
Yeah, with Renfro. Yeah, yeah.
Oh
Man, that
shit!
garbage
But
play.
it wasn't the fact that the play was coming. What's his name's defense was gassed. Alabama's defense was gassed, man.
Oh yeah,
They were tired. Those guys
Man,
were tired.
it wasn't nothing about gas. That man
Yes,
ran
they
into
were. They
him
were gassed,
like
man.
somebody run over you with a golf cart. That man ran right into him.
No, they were
Matter of fact,
gassed.
they knew
No,
this how bad they knew how obvious it was. As soon as it was over, they ran off the field so the referees couldn't even stop to review it because they knew it was some BS.
you need to go and look at the number of plays Clemson ran that night. You'll see why I say they were gassed.
Man,
They ran
Alabama.
a high number of plays, man.
I get that
oh
knock to them,
man,
but man, you gotta take in mind that Alabama they built a little bit different, so they used to that. So I'm not saying that they went gas, but that was an obvious pick play. Like that was very obvious. I can
Yeah,
remember
but I'm saying the
the
reason the
next
pick play
season going to
worked is
NFL,
because
they
they were
even put an
gassed.
emphasis on it.
They were gassed. That's why it
No.
worked.
The dude tried to jump the route. He just ran into him. Like he almost hugged him. Like they was at a wedding dancing. Like he literally just ran into him and hugged him and grabbed him. Like the dude, he seen the corner, seen the play. He was finna jump it, but the dude just ran up to him like, "Hey, how you doing? Can I get your number?" And he couldn't do nothing about it. That's basically how they went. And
oh
you can go rewatch it. And then Dabo
oh.
got the mic talking about God and all this other BS.
Oh man, tonight is a great night to be on on YouTube tonight, man. Oh man, but
Somebody say what y'all think about Colorado and TCU. Man, that ain't even a topic.
We
TCU,
don't
yeah,
TCU.
care.
Boy,
We don't
oh my God.
care
we do
On
not.
about that
on another
team.
on another
I
hand,
ain't
we
never
can
seen
keep
a
it on.
frog.
We can keep it on HBCU. Then next week, I think I'm going up to Huntsville for Alabama A&M's spring game. So I'm really interested to see what that team looks like because they've been super quiet this off season.
Man,
Hey,
like
Blue, is that
uh,
kid from Buffalo? Is he there now or is he coming? The
I think
quarterback
he's
that they
already.
got to.
I'm pretty sure he's already there.
Okay, okay.
bro, I must ask Blue this,
I
bro. What kind of car do you got, and
Mr.
how many
Ford,
miles you got on
didn't
that car,
Mr.
bro?
Ford, didn't you
Ooh,
say that the coach over at Alabama A&M is on the hot seat this year?
Mm,
I think that all of them on the hot seat. You ask me.
I think he on a pink scooter. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So,
A lot of these people are. Now I don't know. Hey, Blue, how many years does Maynard have on this present contract?
Mm,
off the top of my head, I don't know. I'm assuming that I don't think he's on the hot seat like everyone thinks he is. I really don't. Like, I mean, he's what 2 years, 2 seasons removed from a SWAC championship.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
yeah.
and I can't see it. I think the more detrimental thing for him to have, like, I don't even think it has anything to do with winning the SWAC or anything. But the one thing you cannot let happen is Alabama State start building a streak over them. If you start losing the Magic City Classic year in
Yeah,
and year out,
yeah.
that will get you
Yeah, that
fired
would put him
way
on the hot
quicker
Yes,
than
it
seat.
not
will.
getting the swag.
You got to win that.
That's what he said.
And
We don't really care about them out of conference game. We here to beat the SWAT.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, what he say? I'm paid to win conference games. Not
Yeah, I paid to win conference game after they got blown out by UAB. Yeah, yeah. I like, you know what, sir, just don't say nothing no more for the rest for
That's
the
one
rest
of the time you just go. You just keep going to the bus or get on your
going
scooter and ride it to the
going
bus.
to, going to the school. Go get on the scooter, ride to the bus. Man,
Kick
I'm
your
just saying
pink
like
scooter
this.
on, keep rolling.
Oh man, that's crazy. I'm literally
That game in Birmingham determines the longevity of your coaching career in Huntsville and Montgomery. Like Blue said, if you lose that Birmingham game about 3 years in a row, you can pack your bags.
I think FAMU's gonna lose to Bethune Cookman this year in that
No,
classic.
Mr.
Oh,
Mona, no, no,
ooh,
no,
then
ooh,
there's
no,
hold
but
on
no.
now.
hang
Now
on,
they'll
Coach
Coach.
lose to
Woody, I
Hold
Jackson,
on
but they're
now.
believe.
not going.
Coach
Listen,
Woody, I
Uh,
believe.
listen.
Campbell
If
was
you
in here.
exclude Jackson State, FAMU's undefeated in the SWAC every year.
Coach
I
Woody,
would
I
agree
believe
on
in
Yeah,
that.
you.
no, no.
but
Bethune ain't ready
Oh,
yet.
oh
no,
my
there's
goodness.
never a 0% chance in football, but as close to zero as you can get is that game because FAMU is going to smack them. That team is not going to beat FAMU.
What's
No,
the hand
no,
sanitizer? 99.99999. That ain't gonna
no.
happen. It's
Like I
Yeah,
Coach
man.
said,
Woody,
I,
I
excluding
believe in you.
Jackson, FAMU is undefeated in the SWAC the last 2 years.
but you also got to remember, man, before they got beat up by FAMU the last 2-3 years.
Yeah, what is that?
Bethune,
I think Sims
Bethune,
lost what, two?
yeah, Bethune, yeah, Sims lost the last two.
Two. Yeah, he lost the
Bethune
last
has
two.
has beaten up on FAMU for the last 9 years.
Right.
Yeah,
I ain't
but sadly, that has
Hell,
nothing to do with this
Wildcat.
year.
was that.
I said, sadly, all those beatdowns have nothing to do with this year because this
Oh
might be
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah, yeah,
worst.
yeah, yeah.
This might be the worst Bethune Cookman team in the last 10 years.
That's why I
Well,
said that's why I said give him at least 2 years to build that
yeah, yeah.
to alter that roster. Then and he should be competitive. Will
Hey,
it
hey,
get him
Blue,
to
Man.
Blue, they been blowing up some kid, some defensive end they got from, was it Cisco College? Do you know anything about him?
Uh, Not off the top of my head. I don't. Do you know his name or
He's a
anything?
defensive
Or
end. Or, I know he's a defensive lineman, look like about 6'4", 6'5". And I think he's on campus. But they've been
no,
blowing it up, talking about him lately. I was just wondering if you heard anything about him.
no. When I get back, I'll do some research on this, see what I can find. But off the top of my head, I haven't heard anything. They've been so
Yeah,
quiet though.
she
Like I
loves
haven't
Steve with the
really
hot
heard.
take.
Yeah, I haven't heard much from them. But no, I can't see. I think
uh,
Somebody
eventually,
said
if the
BCU by
two best
40.
teams
Lord.
can play in the SWAC,
BCU by 40. They mean get beat by 40?
She loves he done started something.
Well, they gonna get
oh,
beat by
Man,
40.
man, that man said
I can't
BCU
wait till
by
we come
40.
back
Here
after
y'all go
BCU
trying to steal
wins.
Jackson State again. Trying to be like us with this
Hell,
40.
Wildcats.
oh Lord. Talking about the school of Joe's Lane. Hey,
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 hey, Jay White.
y'all still own that scooter, man.
Oh yeah, y'all
Hot
gonna have to
take.
own that for
Y'all
a
own that
while.
scooter.
Hey, Mr. Neal, hey, Harold, Howard Neal, I'm surprised you can spell sharecropper. You probably don't even know
Uh
what a sharecropper is.
let me get this man. Thank you, Israel, because he's trash
Maynard will
right
always be partnered with that scooter in a hot 60 piece. He gonna
That
live that
his
one for a
that
few
will
years.
forever the recruit more 5 stars and that
Man.
scooter is ingrained in his history.
Do you
Blue,
realize
you was at that game,
even
was
if
you?
Maynard beat us 5 years in a row, he would still have to hang that on top of his head? Cause y'all got beat by 60 in y'all crib.
Blue, you was at
For
that game, was
homecoming.
you?
yeah,
Huh?
that was that. Yeah, I was at that game, and I was sitting with the Kill Glasses family in the parent section. Man, like me and my old co-host Brandon, man, I drove all the way from Kansas for that game, and dude, I was talking about after like the second drive, I was like, oh no, they're gonna beat them to death. I mean, this is gonna be terrible. I mean, it just like kept getting so bad that I didn't think they could score any more points and it could get out of hand any worse. and like the fans in the stands, like it's homecoming. That I don't even know if anyone over in Alabama A&M side watched the game after like the second quarter. It was just like homecoming festivities, and we're gonna do other stuff. Like we're not even watching this anymore.
It was a
So,
whole bunch
Blue,
of conversation
and
going on.
that's been what 2 years ago. Have they recovered from that game?
Nope.
No.
They
No,
still on
I
the
don't think
scooter.
so. Because last year I mean, because you got to look at last year, they had terrible quarterback play, and any time that you lose to Alabama State, it's a bad year for them.
Yeah, they needed Prime to beat us. Okay, Jay White, we gonna see.
Y'all need to recruit more. No, I don't. Y'all need to stop
Y'all need to
recruiting.
recruit some 6 stars, buddy.
Keep them folks from out the portal. Alabama A&M went and got like 30
57, wasn't it? Didn't they get 57?
They
they
got
went and got
almost
30 DBs and could none of them intercept the ball. Like it was bad. So the transfer portal, yes, the transfer portal is good, but you got to actually vet these players.
Yeah.
you
That's what I
know,
was trying to say
Let
when
them
one of them
run a couple
simpletons was
routes
saying out inside. That's what I
coverage.
was saying.
but another thing too, what I saw from the game was, especially last season's game, was the inability to find the actual quarterback and stick with him. Because Blue, I don't know, but Quincy Casey did not look like he needed to belong to belong on that field.
I
Yeah, he
mean,
was
We all
bad.
do that.
I don't think I really don't think there should have been an expectation for them to stick with the quarterback. I mean, the quarterback room last year was so bad that I mean, there was a point where like we had a serious conversation on the show about whether they should just run the Wildcat. Like it was that
Yeah.
bad at times. Like you would have a better shot at giving the ball to Michigan State every single play. Like there was just it was terrible, and the quarterback play cost them so much because I know they get a lot of crap for bringing in those transfers, but if you really look at it, a lot of the transfers they brought in had great seasons. It was just
Mm-hmm.
it didn't matter because your quarterback play was so bad. I think if they would have had a quarterback, a lot of people would look at the season that they had with the much. I would say like a higher. I don't know how to word it, but I don't get this much criticism. I think the quarterback play cost them a lot of credit because I thought that a lot of the defensive players were really good for them last year at times.
Well, yeah, the defense. Yeah, the defense, man. Look, if you see the defense, of course, they not Shador for a loop in that game, and then you saw what happened when he wasn't in the game and how our offense was so ineffective with JP Andrade. Uh, so
That's pretty much what happened with the dropout of the former quarterback, Glass. I mean, you went from a quarterback that was pretty much to me as an NFL prospect. Like
Right,
he
right.
was head and
Yeah,
shoulders because he was at the he's seen the game from a much different perspective and talent wise from a lot of other players. Being that a lot of throws he did make that he complete on us, it wasn't him throwing to a receiver. He threw them open. Like it was one play where he turned and the receiver had not even turned around before, and you can be like all you can say was that's a great play. But other than that, I mean, and you have a drop off like that, that's gonna affect you significantly for sure.
right, uh,
hey,
Aaron,
what happened to the? I know one kid was supposed to come from the University of Miami. Remember,
he
didn't he have some
he
problems?
retired. He retired because of mental health. I did
Yeah,
a show
right,
on that. It was actually my second. It was actually my second show ever doing
right,
that,
right.
and
So,
we had
see,
talked about.
so he did not come back at all.
He didn't come back at all. He retired because
Okay.
of mental, the mental strain.
Because Alabama A&M has to have a big time quarterback. That the face of that program has always been a big time, especially with Maynard. They have to have a big time quarterback.
Yeah,
That's the way the offense is set up.
yeah,
Yeah, the way that offense is set up, it's kind of like an NFL style offense.
it is. Um, I'm gonna get Eric say a shout out to C.J. Holmes and Dan Williams, ex JSU players. They play for the Orlando Guardians, so they beat the best team in the XFL tonight.
Yes, sir.
So they beat the DC Defenders. That is the best team in the XFL.
Whoa.
That's coached by Reggie
Oh,
Barlow.
Oh yeah. Okay. Okay.
I
Yeah, I
knew
saw
it
what
had one
Barlow
And
more
was
he was
shouting
too.
out at
undefeated
him.
before that loss. He was
Yeah, he was undefeated
undefeated.
for the
Yeah.
loss. Yeah,
Yeah.
and the way that they play, y'all, man, I watched that game. I watched DC a couple of times. The way that they play, and especially the way that they play defense with Greg Williams. And if you nobody who don't know who Greg Williams is, he's the defensive coordinator for the Saints back in the day. That
They put the
basically
bounty out on with
bounty
Cam Newton, wasn't it?
put the bounty out on almost every QB that was out there.
Yeah. And but he won the Super Bowl one year, right?
They won the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Yeah. He's a good guy, Greg. He kind of got that Buddy Ryan in him. He
Oh
kind of
yeah,
reminds me of Buddy Ryan.
oh yeah. He basically coached that team with his middle finger up.
Yeah. Yeah. He was pretty good.
So shout out to like when you watch him play, like you see dudes just fly around the line, they fly around the ball, uh, and they nasty with it. So um,
Hey, Doc, have y'all heard anything about Southern's uh practice? I'm not practice, but their spring game
spring
today?
game. They said basically somebody said that it was just almost the same way as Alcorn spring game, kind of vanilla basic. Um, I was have to talk to J
Anybody say who
Max.
was the best looking quarterback? Was it the Blood kid? Was it the Blood kid the best quarterback?
I would go with Noah Biden. I
Okay.
would have to go with him.
He,
I'm
he did he look good today?
I haven't seen him, but I just think that I would just go. I would go with them. I would go with him.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
Okay.
but I would go with Biden.
You know, Dooley's history is if he gets a Power Five quarterback, he really does well. You
Right.
know, because he turned Devontae Kincaid out completely out. Matter of fact, Grambling hadn't been relevant since Kincaid left. We hadn't been, you know, when once he left, man, it's been mediocrity.
Man, hey Trav, and Simona, um, I got something to say. I got to ask y'all about this, and I want to see if y'all give y'all. I want to get y'all opinion on it. So I know I heard through the grapevine there was some rumors that when Coach Flea was down in Jackson, that they said he was down to enjoy the game, but in actuality, he was down there to poach the players. And then uh,
When are you talking about? You talking about during the Saint
yeah, he came
Patrick's
back
Day
there. Yeah,
parade?
Saint Patty's Day parade, and then also remember we talked, with Coach Dancy coming down too. What do y'all feel like?
I,
Especially Coach Dancy coming down in all Colorado gear to Jackson State, looking at his ex players from Mississippi Valley.
Disrespectful.
I mean, at this point, it's kind of like Colorado has a $750 million facilities,
Comical.
and they are going against the Pac-12, not against teams in the SWAC. So, at this point, what is your purpose of looking to take players off of Jackson State roster? It doesn't even make logical sense at this point.
It don't make logical. It
If
don't
there's
make
people in the
sense.
portal, then we need to see. I mean, I don't even really pay attention to that. And like I said, it just at this point, what is your purpose of being at Jackson State?
So
For
my
me, I think it's more so like
oh,
what is it? The players don't let people trick you up out of your spot. What I mean by that is this. Um these coaches coming back to Jackson State to plant a seed of doubt or to plant a seed of um, maybe not trusting the new regime. It doesn't really make sense for student athletes to be ready to hop on board. These coaches are actually analysts. Their jobs aren't even secure. If it's a bad year, they're gonna let some people go, and those are gonna be the first ones to get sent packing.
I'm gonna say it like this. I'll say it like this, and I kind of heard it. Uh, Ken was talking about this last night for a little bit, and I kind of had to jump off. But you coming back to Jackson, right? You're coming back to Jackson State. What is your main purpose other than you feel like you coming in to support your guys that you coached that were you left school? Um, what was your main purpose? Was your main purpose to come down there to you know be supportive, or was your main purpose was to come and talk to the current players on the team?
I didn't know that Blue had an interview with Coach Dancy in his Colorado gear.
Look on this video.
I
And
mean,
then Daryl Smith got the answer for y'all. Y'all see what Daryl Smith said, right?
their purpose is to disrupt this
This
program.
to this
There you go.
program.
But
There it is.
you're making the if there is an NCAA violation, you're making it so damn obvious, and you're leaving so many paper trails that you couldn't even deny it if you wanted to.
Well, I don't
Yeah.
think that they have an issue with that because if you do your research, who's backed by Colorado, the people that's at the table that will administer the violations, they look like them, and so I don't think you have to worry about that, and I think that they're using it to their advantage.
But they're
So
just being too blatant with it. At some
well,
point it has
how
to. And
blatant are
my
those
thing is, it's
people?
kind of like, why are you keep attacking Jackson State? Damn, were the players that good?
They're better
I
than what
would.
they have up there in Boulder.
No, I'm saying that you have to continue to try to take players from Jackson State. There was a announcement made that Colorado was trying to take people that weren't even at Jackson State that are currently at Jackson State that they're trying to get. It's like, huh? What are y'all doing? You guys have to win in the Pac-12. You need to focus on getting these O-line and D-line beefed up. What are
This is
y'all
what my
doing?
theory is. I think that they know that they're not gonna win, and what they have to. The worst thing that you can have is you not. First of all, they're gonna get blown out by TCU first game. Like
Yeah.
TCU is gonna give them their wake up. They're gonna give them that nice pillow, send them back to the hotel room. Second, you can't have you losing and your former school dominating because it's gonna be like, well, dang, was it really you or was it, did they really have it? They just needed an extra piece to put it in place. So then they're gonna start looking at Prime, and we all know Prime is not gonna give up his narrative. He's gonna drive that narrative of y'all win shit without me, and
Yeah.
he's gonna continue. He doesn't want none of our players because if you were going to Colorado and they wanted you in Colorado, you would have known and you would have gone in the same time that we seen two other players off in that portal, which wasn't a week later, and you would have been on that plane going to
Wait a minute. You
Colorado
said
real
wait a
soon.
minute. You say he don't want nobody from Jackson?
They
No,
don't
he's
want nobody
trying
from
to take
Jackson to
the
play.
he doesn't want them to play at Jackson State, but he
Oh,
doesn't
okay. I'm
necessarily
sorry.
want
Yeah,
them at
okay.
Colorado either. And that's why you have seen, and I know that y'all might think it, but this is what I think. There's some players that hopped up in the portal that thought that they was going to Colorado, and then they got that about face, meaning they didn't get that call to go to Colorado. And that's why they're
Absolutely.
at other schools, which based on the schools, I'm not saying that they're not great schools, but the brand recognition is not at the same level as Jackson State. So it was like, well, why would you jump out there like that? And that's what it was.
Well, I know that the only player that didn't go up to Colorado that was on the team from last season was Willis Patrick. He went back home. He came back here to DFW, and he's at TCU, and he's going to be a starter. Um, he proved, he proved his worth. Now this is something where Miracle Sports said.
Did
So
you say he proved his worth?
I mean, what I'm saying, when he was at Jackson State, he proved his work. He also talked about Willis Patrick. That was all Lone Star Conference when he was at Angelo State. Like he that dude. He's that
For
dude.
real.
So that's why I said I can't get mad at him for not wanting to follow the trend to go up to Boulder, and he made his own path to come back home to Dallas and go play for TCU.
Let me
And
give you
he's
some not to cut you off, Doc. Let me give
nah,
y'all some insight. A lot of guys that he recruited, there was only a handful of guys that he recruited that actually knew Prime. I met dang, now I'm trying to think his name. Offensive line left tackle. Dang, I can't think his name right now.
talking about Willis Patrick,
Uh no. Gray, Tony Gray. I
Tony Gray.
met Tony Gray in Walmart in Clinton, Mississippi, way before the season, before they even showed up on campus. That was one of the few guys that already knew Coach Prime. A lot of the other guys that he brought into that building knew of the Coach Prime that we knew of before we got the True Blue every day, and he had shown his colors. So, because Tony Gray knew from he coached Tony Gray in the Under Armour game, and
Yeah,
so he knew him. So a lot of them guys, what you saw was when they got in that building, if you around somebody every day, you start to see their true colors and they notice that. I'm not saying that that's why he didn't go to Colorado with him, but that probably had a big thing. Because like I told y'all, a lot of them cameras was around, but if something didn't look right, it was retake that. Even if it took 100 times, retake that. He controlled everything. So now what you see is him controlling the narrative continuously. They know they're not going to win. Probably the first 2 years at least. The second year
hmm
they may win a few games, but the first year it's gonna be real bad. So he can't have him going to Colorado losing and his former school not having a drop off. He has to have both of those to align with his narrative. So that's what I mean
So
by he
this is
doesn't want
more
our
so
players.
about disrupting Jackson State so that we don't continue our winning than it
Right,
is about anything else. Because at this point, it doesn't make sense. You have almost $1 billion worth of facilities, and it's supposed to have been an elevation, and you're supposed to be focused on winning at Colorado, but we keep
right.
on seeing these coaches coming back to Jackson State. um and I don't know, I think that maybe some of the coaches have family down here, or maybe they didn't fully move all the way to Colorado, because it is off season, so maybe they not fully moved over there. I don't know what it is, but
I
it's
can
just
tell you this also. Some of the things that you're seeing isn't voluntarily. Like they're being told to do certain things. And I don't mean from just Coach Prime. We all know Coach Prime controls everything. He has his thumbprint on every single thing.
yeah,
So a lot of the things that you see, it isn't because by choice. Because you can't tell me Dancy didn't show up to Jackson. Like, man, you know what?
not by itself.
All this media in on Colorado, is that a smart move? I don't think he personally had a choice. And I know for a fact, I know some people that know some things that I don't, a lot of them didn't have a choice in doing that. And also, he's using, if you go back to remember, he used Jackson State to build that platform he rolled the red carpet out with Jackson State going to Colorado. No one knew about Colorado. Nobody was thinking about Colorado. So he had to use JSU to roll that red carpet out. And all he's doing, when he was at Jackson State presence in the HBCU platform kept him relevant and kept Jackson State on the map in the media. If they aren't using Jackson State, if you haven't noticed, no one's thinking about Colorado other than people that's in Colorado.
because
Other than that,
nobody
no one's
cares.
reposting it.
It was a bigger narrative that he was using. It was, I'm here to and that's the thing. Everybody, even student athletes who know that they are going to a Power 5 and they know they were going to get paid, that narrative, I'm doing this for my people, that had a bigger impact than just going to Colorado to the same facilities that I can get anywhere else, and they're gonna give me some money. So now you gonna have to pay. Where my money at? You in Colorado now. I want the money. I want the NIL deals. You can't sit up here and go to Colorado and still have that same narrative that you don't have no NIL money. That's what,
Well,
if I'm going to Colorado, I want an NIL deal. Especially since you're touting that Shador and Travis Hunter are worth 1.5 mil and 1.7 million dollars. Like, they want an NIL deal. It's a difference
Man,
when you're saying I'm doing this for my people and I want to build HBCUs back up, and you have a bigger um mindset and culture is behind it, and everybody is latching on to that idea. Colorado, you recruiting a 5-star, it's been done before. That's what you're supposed to do. Like, what are we supposed to do about that?
it's just a different level with Colorado. Like Colorado, they don't have that same love and passion that we have. Like we continuously repost and stuff, kept him in the media. He has to. They have to keep on mentioning Jackson State because if they don't, Colorado is they're not thought of. They're not concerned about. It's the other than Colorado, it's the Jackson States. I mean, the Alabama, the LSU's. That those are the conversations in college football. No one gives a damn about Colorado other than them, and they just had that dream, and they realize that if they don't speak about Jackson State, that media tunnel isn't there because the only people who gives a damn about Colorado is the people that's in Colorado. And about the NIL deal, they'll get them eventually because the people around them. I mean, we see them in the videos. They're walking in cafes, getting free food, and you know, they showing them
All I
the
seen
little
was
fake love.
food.
They getting the Mayo love for now, but it's gonna
That's
yeah.
change.
fake.
Well, it's another subject for another day, y'all.
You the one that brought up the subject.
Yeah,
Talk about another
I know.
subject
What I'm
for
saying
another
is,
day.
what I'm saying is, I'm about to, I'm trying to land this plane because I got to go pick up the man child from his
All
prom.
I'm gonna say is they Mayo love and that barbecue love is a little bit different, and they'll realize it, and they're realizing it every day. So you know,
He said the
it'll
Mayo
wear off.
love.
Man, I'm telling you, after TCU, it's gonna be a wake up call. I promise you, they
Oh
not gonna win.
Jesus! Oh Jesus! Nah, I just got to go pick up the man child. Man child got to get picked up from the prom. It's his prom tonight.
Prime is trying to
Uh
keep
oh.
himself relevant. Mm, 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 mm,
Yeah,
mm, mm.
that's all it is.
Oh,
But
well,
There
I
you go,
mean,
Israel. There you go. Spell it out for me. Appreciate that.
guard the yard.
it's all we
Guard the
can do.
Guard
fucking
the
yard.
Guard
yard.
the yard. So I don't think let me try to see next time I come back on here. Probably be on Monday or Tuesday. So I'll be back to my regular scheduled program. Check out for those it will come out either tomorrow or Monday. But check out Put It On Something. I got interviewed on Put It On Something yesterday. So the show will be on either tomorrow or Monday. So check that out. Um any closing remarks before we roll up out of here? Mr. Ford?
Hey, y'all have a good weekend. I'm looking forward to the game tomorrow night with the ladies, and then Monday night with the national championship. I think I'm the way it's looking right now. It look like UConn's going to be the dominant team in the men's game.
Okay. So I'm gonna check them out on
Yeah,
Monday.
Blue said that he lost his signal driving. Boy, Blue be getting up on that road, boy. He don't
I was
play.
asking, like, man, what kind of car
Y'all
he
make
got
sure
and
y'all
how
tap
many
in and
miles?
subscribe and support Blue.
Man, what kind of car he got and how many miles he got on that
Yeah, guard the yard. Guard the yard.
thing?
Listen, it's getting ready to be a no-fly zone starting after this spring game. You cannot be around Jackson State if you are from any other FBS type of school. You cannot be on our campus or in our facilities or around our students. They over here passing mixed messages through random people.
Mm,
right.
Mm, mm, mm.
man, but I appreciate everybody.
How many games Travis and Jesus Jr. won together? That's gone. Oh my goodness. Adrian Crook, didn't we take your quarterback?
Mhm. Nah, he from Southern, but
Jaguars and Ascots. That's Southern over there.
Mm. But yeah, man, we'll be back on. I'll be back on.
Oh, somebody said the HBCU All-Star basketball game is tomorrow.
Right.
Yes, it is. It is.
Was 3 o'clock?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
On what channel?
It'll be on
Is it CBS?
CBS.
Oh wow. That's gonna
Yeah.
be a good
Oh
turnout.
yeah. Hey, by the way, Doc, they got the #1 kid in America from Duncanville, about 6'8", 6'9". You seen this kid?
I
They got him #1, I think.
I've seen him play once. I've seen the video of him play once, but
Is he all of that?
oh, he good. He on one. Also, before I'm gonna say this and leave out, if you have a degree, if you got a class, I don't know what kind of driver's license you need to have to ride drive the school bus and stuff, but the varsity girls program for Duncanville High School is looking for a new women, girls head coach, varsity basketball, pay between $92,000 to $130,000.
Whoa,
Yeah,
boy.
yeah. So that job is open. And on that note, man, I will talk to everybody later. Like I said, make sure y'all catch me on Put It On Something. It'll be coming out soon. So till then.
Oh, I'll be dropping the pro day video soon. So I
Okay.
was able to talk to some not players, excuse me. I was able to talk to some people on the ground at the Jackson State pro day. And so I got the scoop on everything regarding how the pro day works and what transpired in regards to some of the student athletes who were upset because they weren't able to do drills. So I'll be dropping that. Hopefully I'll be able to drop that tomorrow. So be on the lookout if you're not already subscribed to my YouTube channel. I will be dropping that tomorrow. You don't want to miss out on that.
Don't miss out on it. Check out SheLovesThee. Make sure you check it out. Subscribe to it.
And Mr. Mona, don't forget now, we got to put this letter together to
Yes,
Dr.
to the
Charles
commissioner.
McClellan. Huh?
To the commissioner, right?
Yes. It's going to be your name and Doc's name, but we want to add some things in it.
All right, don't be putting me out here on the hot seat already now. Right now.
No. Doc, when you gonna get him for an interview?
Man, I heard he a busy man, but if I can pull some strings, somebody pull some strings for me at that SWAC office, I would definitely love to interview.
Ooh, Blue said, oh, I'm sorry. Did you see that? Look at that. Look at what Blue said. Co-pilot.
Oh, okay. Come on Monday if you don't got nothing else to do, bro. I got you.
No, we need that scoop. He got the side eyes. You over there starting mess, Doc.
Right?
Listen.
Me.
Hey, Spence Matthews, go take your medicine, man. I told you, go. It's some Percocet waiting on you somewhere.
Oh, I'm gone. Look, gone. I talked to y'all later, man. Y'all have a good one. Peace and blessings. Good night, y'all.